going to need is nutrition. What does nutrition look like for a plant? Looks like a lot of different things. You can use a store-bought product to help give your plant some nutrition to survive, or you can use something from your home. Just today, when I watered a plant, which one of them did I water? Oh, the one here that I repotted in the IKEA container. I watered it with a weak nitrogen fertilizer. It was called coffee. So I used leftover coffee with nothing in it, no cream, no sugar. And I used that to water the plant because I repotted it and I didn't want to put it into shock by putting it into a growth mode. The other thing that you can do is use something commercial. So some of the commercial products are like this. If you've ever seen these around, these are pretty inexpensive. You can use these. I think I got these at the dollar store, and I've used these before, and I don't really care for them. This is a good fertilizer spike as a Hail Mary pass. If you're one of those people who just simply can't remember, then you can go ahead and use this. Now, on the back of it, it gives you the content, nitrogen 13%. That's pretty high level of nitrogen. And nitrogen is what makes your plants grow. This is about $1. No reason not to get this. I think I got this at the dollar store. This is one of these, put it in and forget it. As you water it, it releases the nitrogen. There's also Miracle-Gro, other brands, and the primary ingredient is nitrogen. There's also fish fertilizer, things that you can do at home, coffee grounds, calcium, all of that would help you get nutrients to your plant. So the 3 things to not kill your plant is to make sure you water it adequately, give it proper light and proper nutrition. For nutrition, you're just going to simply go as a beginning plant parent with one of 2 ways. You're either going to buy a commercial product that is like this, if you're forgetful. If you're not very forgetful, you can use a Miracle-Gro or a fish fertilizer or something that you add into your watering can and water if you're not very forgetful. If you forget to water, then you're going to have to use this, right? Because this will do it for you, but you still need the water to release it. Then you're going to have to worry about light. So I'm going to use proper lighting. You don't have as much light as you think, so don't go rush out and think, I'm home, I'm going to take care of all these plants, I'm going to become an excellent plant parent. You have less light than you think. So go for plants that are low to medium light so that you don't have to force a lot of plants into a window space. Just because it's a window space doesn't mean it's a sunny enough space for a high light plant. I do have some highlight plants. They love the window and they grow a lot in the summer because of that. And then, so we covered light, water, and nutrition. One other thing I want to share with you, I'll come back with more information in another video, but I want to wrap this up because you've been very patient today listening, is that the container that you use makes a huge difference in how much you need to water the plant. So if you know that you're forgetful with watering, you could use something like this. I want to show you this. Just got this one, haven't used it yet. So this contains a reservoir. Let me see if I can get that off. Okay, you see that twisting there? That's the reservoir for water. So this is a self-watering planter. This one was $18 on sale at Fred Meyer's. And they have them at Home Depot. They also have them on Target. This is 16-inch. Target has a 16-inch for I think $9. It's plain, it doesn't have the design around it, but a very good buy for someone who's forgetful. If you have had a problem with watering your plants, I urge you to just go ahead and order that from Target. They do curbside pickup. They also do, they can ship directly to your home if you need that to happen. And just go ahead and repot them now. So when you go back to work and when you go back to society, you can not have to worry so much about the plants. I don't tend to have a problem with watering over, letting my plants dry out. They mostly are contained in my bedroom, and they're also contained in my living room, in my office space. So I walk past them often enough to know when to water them. So that's plastic. Plastic, that is not self-watering is another good choice because it doesn't absorb water and it retains water. So if you don't water your plants very often and you forget, try plastic or try ceramic. So by ceramic, I mean this here, polished ceramic, okay? So this is gonna retain water. I don't have to water this so much. These are my plant secrets. And last but not least, glass works well too. I also use glass. I use vases sometimes to plant pots. Sometimes I like to not just look at the leaves, I also like to look at the roots. So this beauty I didn't show you before. It's somewhat in recovery. I had to snip a little bit on it and remove the crusty parts. And as you can see here, I'm gonna show you why I know this plant is gonna be okay. And the reason why this poor plant was suffering is because it was left in the office and not cared for. So do you see that right there? That's a new leaf coming, and there's a new bud right there. So this plant is showing signs of growth. This is terracotta. The downside of terracotta is that it's heavy. The upside of terracotta, it feels really cool right now. And so the upside of terracotta is that if you're an overwaterer and you just heavy-hand it with the water, this plant will absorb, this pot will absorb the water. The terracotta will absorb some of the water, and then your roots won't be sitting in water. So this also has a drainage hose. There's a drainage hole right there. And it can drain into the base, and it can sit in the base. And when it's dry, it can absorb some of that water back. So terracotta is really good if you're an overwaterer and you want some of that water to save you for the times when you get forgetful. So I don't use terracotta very much because it can be a big expense as a plant parent. I want to put my money in the plants, not necessarily the pots. There are pots that I do want to show off and places that I want to show off, and terracotta can do that. So there were a couple more that I told you that I was going to repot. There were two little succulents. I only have the leaves left because an admirer came in and absconded with the two succulents. That's okay. I'm glad that everybody likes plants as much as I do. So that was my second video on how not to kill your plants. So the next time I see you on Zoom, I want to see those live plants back there. If you have any questions for me about a plant that isn't thriving and you maybe want to know why it isn't thriving, you could hit me up and I could help you out. So if it's kind of spongy, it might be too much water. If it's crispy, too little water. If it's yellow, it's showing signs of stress. If it's brown, definitely stressed out. So I want you to water the plants that you haven't watered in the last week. And I want you to look up the names of your plants so that you can put them in the proper conditions where they'll thrive. So like in the sun, how do you know if your plant takes sun or not? How do you know if it's indirect sun? Google. And then last but not least, run out and get some nutrition. Don't use it immediately until you discover what your plant is and the conditions it likes to thrive in. You don't want to use a nutrition, you don't want to use a fertilizer until you discover if you're going to transplant. But right now, if you've got something in a pot and it's suffering, the dollar store has these, and it's better than a poke in the eye. If you don't have these and you're stuck in the house and you can't get to the dollar store, there are coffee grounds that you can use. Some people use eggshells. I'm vegan. I don't have any eggshells, but you can use eggshells. You can use Epsom salt. So I'll talk about all those different ways you can make fertilizers in the next video. So I will talk about propagation, homemade fertilizers, and why you should even have more plants. Air quality, lower your blood pressure. So thank you so much for tuning in to Vegan with Spice. I'll be sharing more plant videos with you, more things in the plant lifestyle, and also food videos. I'm getting kind of hungry right now. Maybe that's just the state of mind, but I'm kind of hungry right now. I'm thinking pizza. Thinking about making a vegan pizza. What do you think? Want to join me? Okay, I'm out for now. Bye.